Welcome, everyone. Welcome to our Expedia Cruises Thursday night travel talk. For the next few months, we will be doing our travel talks every 2 weeks. Tonight, our special guest is Chad Kowalenko from Celebrity Cruises. Everyone on the call is muted. You do have control if you want your video on or off. If you have questions, please use the chat feature. We will answer all of them after the presentation. My name is Scarlett Hiller. I am the franchise partner of Expedia Cruises in Terwillegar. Our travel talks are being hosted by the 6 Expedia Cruises locations in the Edmonton area. It has been a long road since March 2020 when the world changed. If you are on this call, you enjoy traveling. Travel fulfills us. That is why we do it. And if you're like me, you are missing it incredibly. Cruises are sailing today with some of the highest level of COVID-19 safety. The cruise industry is leading the way with stringent health and safety measures, COVID safety protocols, incorporate testing, vaccination, screening, sanitation, enhanced ventilation, mask wearing, physical distancing, and other proven public health measures that are facilitating a responsible return to cruising. The positivity rate of cases on board ships has been less than 1%. And yesterday I learned at a session with Celebrity Cruises that they have a positivity rate of 0.01%. It is safer to be on a Celebrity cruise than your local grocery store, and of course, a lot more fun. There is a difference between traveling and planning for your future travel. If you do not feel comfortable traveling at the moment, that is completely fine, but it is definitely the right time to start to plan. Studies have shown that approximately 40% of the pleasure of a trip comes from planning one. At Expedia Cruises, we have had many passengers that have sailed recently and come back with rave reviews. They were thrilled to get back on board and have the wonderful experience that only a cruise can provide. I will say that travel is a bit more complex at the moment. Now more than ever, professional advice of a travel consultant is needed. Our consultants are here to help you navigate the new complexities of travel and make sure your vacation is safe and seamless. What you will receive when you book with one of our travel consultants is the following: expertise with hundreds of different cruise lines, cruise ships. A travel consultant can help you find the right cruise for you. Pricing, you will never pay less booking directly with the cruise line. Many times booking with a travel consultant provides a better price. Extras, booking with Expedia Cruises, we block group space on hundreds of sailings and can offer you better pricing and amenities, such as shipboard credits, that booking directly with cruise lines you cannot receive. You will also be given information regarding passports, visas, entry requirements, and COVID protocols. Plus, we're here with assistance in emergencies when problems occur. We are here to help. The ability to have your entire vacation package planned and monitored by one person is also a special perk. So if you are ready to travel now, we are ready to help. Whatever your dreams are, Expedia Cruises consultants can help make that dream come true. We can help you plan all the components of your vacation, but best of all, we are in your neighborhood so you can shop local at one of our locations. So sit back and relax and let's start exploring the world and dreaming of your next celebrity cruise. Welcome, Chad from Celebrity Cruises.
Thank you very much, Scarlett, and thank you to all of the Expedia Cruises team for having Celebrity join you guys tonight and be a part of things. Folks, you know, I think Scarlett really had some great points there in terms of the cruise industry is restarted, the ships are sailing again, and we've got lots of stuff that you might not be aware of unless you've been on one of the ships recently. you might have a misconception on what's actually going on with this restart of the travel industry and the cruise industry. So tonight, it's going to be my pleasure to talk about Celebrity Cruises, to talk about our healthy return to service and what's going on right now. So not someday, but what's happening currently. We're going to talk about Celebrity's Europe deployment for 2022, because that seems to be really popular with Canadians at the moment. We're going to talk about Celebrity in the Caribbean, where we've got a lot of great options as well. I'm going to show you a sneak peek at these ultra luxury new ships of the Celebrity Beyond and the Celebrity Apex and what that's all about. And I did just get back from sailing on Celebrity Apex. I'm going to showcase quickly for you the retreat experience, because even for those of you that are on with us tonight that are diehard Celebrity fans, if you haven't been treating yourself to the retreat experience, maybe we need to showcase that for you, because that's truly a ship within a ship experience that is going to be a game changer for what a luxury cruise vacation should be like. We've got some really great promotions that we always put together whenever we do these virtual events. And then we'll recap with why Expedia versus Celebrity Direct, or anywhere else for that matter. So again, folks, my name is Chad. I've been with Celebrity Cruise Lines for 14 years. More importantly, I've cruised 4 times in the last 3 months. And I think sometimes if you get a employee or salesperson from a cruise line on for one of these events, we might be inclined to think, yeah, well, they're all going to say that. But we're walking the walk right now. These are some photos of my wife and I last week in the Caribbean. We did a 10-night Southern Caribbean on the Celebrity Reflection. And so the things I'm going to talk about tonight, they're happening now. This is real time. These photos are from last week. There's a great photo of my wife and I getting ready to go dancing on one of the formal nights, evening chic. There's a photo with us with the captain, and I'm just coming from doing a Peloton. If we can just mute, Randy, if we can just mute where the background's coming from. But a great shot of the captain and us as we came out of the gym and a Peloton session, the world-class bar with some of the best handcrafted cocktails anywhere on land or at sea. Nothing's changed from what you always knew as the unbelievable culinary experiences in the dining room. And then what is it like, getting off the ships? Can you get off and do your own thing, or do you have to be on the ship-led shore excursions? There's a great shot of where we rented mopeds in Nassau and kind of went around and toured the island on our own. But I think the biggest thing is I talk to people every day, and they keep saying, yeah, we hear that the cruise lines are restarting, but what's it really like? And, would I even enjoy it at this point? I don't think there's anything that you would notice that was different from pre-pandemic, other than the fact that you're wearing masks in the indoor spaces unless you're eating or drinking. But I mean, we've come pretty accustomed to that in all the aspects of our lives now. So that's just kind of one thing that does happen. But when you also think about how life is on a cruise ship, you are in culinary venues eating a fair bit. You are at a lounge or a bar having a drink. Even when you're out for the entertainment, which, by the way, the live entertainment was fantastic. But if you've got your drinks, then you're seated and you're socially spaced. So you're not going to be wearing your masks to enjoy the entertainment. But we did get out to the beach. We did get out to do our own thing. We got to go swimming with the stingrays. We certainly enjoyed all of the activities, the entertainment, the culinary. And I just wanted to kind of start tonight off by showing you some of those personal photos, because anybody can come with a marketing piece and say, here's why it's good to take a look at cruising again. But after me personally sailing on 4 ships in the last 3 months and really getting a feel for what cruising is like right now, 100% it's a safer, better environment to be in than it would be at a grocery store or a Walmart or a Costco or a restaurant locally, etc., because our health and safety protocols that have been put into place are just a better buffer than what's out there in the rest of your personal life. So whether it is, being dictated and kind of shaped by our healthy sail panel. And by the way, if you weren't aware, the guidance that we take in conjunction with the CDC is the Healthy Sail Panel, which is a former head of the CDC. It's a former head of the FDA. It's some of the best and brightest minds in health and science saying, how do you provide a luxury cruise experience during a pandemic and keep everybody safe and healthy? And I can tell you right now, with the fact that Scarlett had mentioned that, we've been sailing since June. And so we're 7 months deep into our return to service now. And to have thousands of passengers that are rotating on a weekly basis every time we start a new cruise, and to have less than 1% positivity rate on the ships, you can't argue with those numbers. That is where you want to be. If I could be back on one of our ships tomorrow, I definitely would be. But, we're in a position now where if you or your friends or anybody that you like to travel with was in this frame of mind where, we're just going to wait and see. We kind of want to wait and see what's happening. Here's the reality, ladies and gentlemen, that I think is really important to pay attention to. 11 of our 14 ships have already fully returned to service. 11 out of 14 ships back sailing and cruising with guests every week. We've been sailing since June. So that is 7 months. It's more than half a year where every week we rotate all of those thousands of guests around the world. We're not making media headlines. There's no story to talk about here other than people are loving their cruise vacations and wish that they could, do a back-to-back and stay on a little bit longer with us in a lot of cases, because that's how good it feels. So if you or anybody that you like to travel with was thinking, we just want to wait and see how it goes, I would argue you have waited and you've now seen. Because if we're 7 months deep into our return to service and 11 of the 14 ships are back in service, we've already seen. We know how it's working. The answer is less than 1% positivity rate. The beautiful thing about it is it means that our health and safety protocols were sound. They made sense. They're keeping everybody safe and healthy. And now I just want to show you a video, but because we had those technical glitches, I just want to make sure that you guys are going to hear this okay. All right, here we go. So we've made the right decisions, we've followed the right guidance, and with these health and safety protocols and kind of what we refer to as being healthy at sea, I think the important things that are kind of the burning questions for a lot of people right now are, will I have to wear a mask on board? You do have to wear a mask in the indoor public spaces. Obviously, you don't need to wear a mask inside your stateroom. You don't need to wear a mask inside any of the dining venues where you're going to be eating because we've got everybody socially spaced. You don't need to wear a mask in the entertainment venue. We've got people socially spaced and you're going to be actively drinking your drinks in there. You're not wearing any masks on any of the outdoor areas. So if you're poolside or on any of the outdoor decks, which a lot of times you will be, obviously no mask there. So to me, when I think back to these last 4 trips of taking these cruises, masks wasn't even something that kind of hit the radar, other than having to wear it for the flight down to Florida. But that was the longest duration of actually having to wear a mask, was the flights. The cleaning and sanitation, I think that's always been really great on the cruise ships, but they've done that times 1,000 now. So the environment that we provide, it's great to see this, because you feel like you are in a super clean and healthy environment. We've actually reconfigured all of the ships with our HVAC filtration system. And ladies and gentlemen, this particular part of things with the 100% fresh filtered air, this is important because we know that's important to you. We have fresh air being circulated through the ship in the staterooms every 15 minutes. But more importantly, the filtration system that's now been put into the ships, it's a higher grade filtration system than most hospitals have in their operation units and their ICU units. It's as good as money can buy to keep clean air and fresh air coming in. Obviously, we've got the social spacing on board, and we're sailing at greatly reduced capacity, which has a lot of other great benefits as well. You're not going to be looking for any private cabina or chaise lounge or pool lounger, because we're at half capacity. There's a lot of space on board the ships. Should you need it, 24/7 medical care is certainly available for you, both on the ship, and we can arrange for shoreside as well. And then I'll talk in a few minutes about COVID assistance and what that means about making sure, in the unfortunate event or unlikely event that you would have a positive test, what we're going to do about it to make sure that your vacation still makes sense. So hopefully that kind of gives some assurances as we start to now talk about your vacation options. So to quickly just meet the fleet with Celebrity, we are a medium-sized ship cruise line for those of you that are on with us tonight that might sail with other brands. I guess we're the floating Fairmont hotels and resorts. Now with the new ships like the Celebrity Apex and the Celebrity Beyond, arguably those are more in the category of Ritz-Carlton and Four Seasons. That's really as good as luxury gets. And all of our capacity or size of our ships is in between, just around 2,200 to just below 3,000 guest count. And of course, they're making cruise ships, for example, Royal Caribbean, now 6,000 passengers. So we fall very much into the medium-size cruise ship category. Although we do have some really unique and intimate vessels that we run in the Galapagos Islands. And those ships are a 100-passenger, ultra-luxury, all-suites vessel called the Flora. We also have Expedition, which is a high-end, ultra-luxury yacht for 48 guests. And then we even have a super high-end luxury catamaran for 16 guests in the Galapagos. So we have a lot of different choices out there. I'm kind of biased right now after just experiencing the Celebrity Apex. I would just say, whatever you've experienced in the world of cruise, and that includes if you have booked with any of the ultra luxury lines out there, if you get yourself onto the Celebrity Apex or the Celebrity Beyond, I think you're going to be jaw-droppingly amazed at how high they've set the caliber and the bar of what luxury cruising can look like on those new ships. We are a cruise line that has deployment all over the world. I know we've done a few of these travel talks with the team from Expedia in Edmonton over the last 12 months, and we focused on some different areas of the world. Tonight, we're going to primarily be talking about Celebrity in Europe and Celebrity in the Caribbean. But if those two destinations were not necessarily what you were looking at, we do have a lot of other great choices of deployment all over the world. So there's a great shot of kind of at a glance where we sail and kind of what the deployment offerings are all about. But when I think about what my favorite part of the world to cruise in would be, I have a soft spot for Europe. I never tire of getting to explore Europe. And I used to work for a tour company that did tours in Europe. And although it was really neat to get to explore a lot of these great destinations in Europe, The one thing I never loved is that if you did a 7 or a 10-day tour, every morning at 6 a.m. you had to be downstairs in the hotel lobby with your bags packed, and then you get on the coach and away you go and you're traveling to your next destination. The beautiful thing about cruising in Europe is that we're your floating hotel and resort, and we travel to the next port of call while you're sleeping, so that you don't need to be up at 6 a.m. and you don't need to be packing your bags every day. You get on the ship, you unpack once, and we move our floating hotel and resort from port of call to port of call so that you can explore Europe in a lot more of a pampered and kind of civilized way. So a few things that you should know about Celebrity for Europe. That our newest ship, the Celebrity Apex, is going to be sailing for her first time out of Amsterdam, which is a really easy gateway to get to from Western Canada. And I love Amsterdam. I think that if you take any of the Apex sailings out of Amsterdam, which I would encourage you to look at, and I'll show you that tonight, but it goes up into the Baltics. You've got an overnight in St. Petersburg. It's an absolutely gorgeous itinerary, but it's also a great opportunity to do a pre or post stay for a few nights in Amsterdam and check out the Rijksmuseum and the Van Gogh Museum and get into the Anne Frank House and explore this great city via the canals. I mean, there's just so many great things to do in Amsterdam, and it's a city of art. It's a city of canals. I think one of my favorite things to do when I'm in Amsterdam is go see the Heineken Brewery for 5 guilders. It was unlimited fill-ups on your Heineken pint of beer and get to see how Heineken is made. Just such a great city. So I really encourage you to take a look at our Apex sailings, not just because it's the newest, best, most luxurious ship in our fleet. It has a great itinerary that's going to take you up into the Baltics and allow you to see St. Petersburg, and then it goes out of a city that's very friendly for easy airfare and then a pre or post stay for you. We've also got the Silhouette sailing out of Southampton, so that can become easy airfare into the UK as well. And then for the Mediterranean, our new ship, which I'll show you in a couple minutes so that you can have a sneak peek at what Celebrity Beyond is all about. But when she debuts with us in April of this year, she's going to be doing Barcelona and Rome. There'll be 9-night Western and 10-night Eastern Mediterranean itineraries on that new ship. Her sister ship, the Celebrity Edge, is going to be doing 7- and 8-night sailings. Plus, there's a 12-night Istanbul overnight. So if you want to have an overnight stay, and you can do Ephesus and Turkey. And Ephesus, of course, is some of the best opportunity to see ancient ruins anywhere on the planet, because you're really right in there in what was a ancient medieval city that's been unearthed. And if you haven't had that opportunity, Ephesus is one of the highlights, I think, of any Europe trip. The Reflection is doing 10 and 11 nights with overnights in Istanbul, and the Constellation is doing 8 to 13 nights from Barcelona and Venice, which is now porting in Ravenna, but we've got transfers available. One other thing, ladies and gentlemen, just to let you know, is that not all cruise lines are created equal in terms of how much time you might spend in the ports of call in Europe. And Celebrity Cruises actually does have bragging rights. We've got more overnight stays than any other major cruise line. So a big thing that we focus on is that we understand you don't want to be leaving at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, especially you can see on the list on your screen there where we've got overnight stays. In a lot of these places, you want to have dinner in a seaside cafe. You want to grab a cappuccino and do some people watching. You want to go evening shopping into the markets. And you can't do that if you're leaving at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So having more overnight stays than any other cruise line is something that really does set Celebrity Cruises apart. And I think that, not that long ago, there was a lot of small boutique brands that said, well, we're going to get into some of these more unique ports of call. We understand that that's important, and we've made really big strides to add a lot of that into our itinerary planning as well, where it's not just that we've got the overnight stays. Now we're incorporating the more unique ports of call. It's just great because we know we've got the best ships in Europe. We've got the best culinary in Europe. Now we've got itineraries that are doing the overnight stays and the new unique ports of call. So this is really what I think starts to kind of say why you would take a celebrity cruise as your next vacation. Here's kind of the lineup. We talked about the Celebrity Apex and the Silhouette out of Amsterdam and Southampton. So there's kind of what their lineup is going to be. And here's a couple of maps, if you like. And you know, we could do our own show just on Celebrity Europe or just on Celebrity Caribbean because we've got so much deployment. So I just handpicked a few tonight for you to have a quick look at what we're doing. But here's a great shot of Celebrity Apex. And with our Celebrity Apex, you know, we've got this for July and August dates. And that's the one I was mentioning out of Amsterdam. And of course, when you take a look at how that goes through the Baltic and what your ports of call are, personally, that's the winner for me for Europe is, you know, you want to be jumping on to experience Baltic on Apex. Here's another great one to take a look at out of Amsterdam on Celebrity Apex. This one's a 7-night sailing. And I think that's a pretty exciting itinerary as well in a part of the world that probably a lot of you have not yet had the chance to explore. So we've got June and August dates there on Celebrity Apex. A great shot of St. Petersburg. There's so much to explore in St. Petersburg, which is why I'm glad we have the overnight stay there, because this is a destination you definitely want a little bit more time in. Great shot of Olden in Norway, and the Norwegian fjords is on that Baltics itinerary, so great opportunities to explore in there. Here's another great one that is basically circumnavigating kind of through the UK. And so heading out of Amsterdam, but then doing Dover, getting into Portland, going into Cork, Ireland, getting into Dublin, Liverpool, going to Belfast, getting up to Glasgow. Like it's an awesome itinerary. That itinerary that you're looking at there, I've seen plenty of tour companies that offer something similar. But again, it's getting up early, it's making your travel arrangements, it's hopping. And the beautiful thing is you're getting all these awesome hit list destinations in the UK, and we're taking you from point to point during the night when you're sleeping. So you get up, you're refreshed, you had a good night's sleep, and now it's time to go and see Dublin or see Glasgow. So just an awesome way to do it. And that is on that new ship that we keep talking about on Celebrity Apex as well. And these dates that I've selected here for the May 14th and September 1st, or any of the previous dates that I've shown, Expedia has what Scarlett was talking about earlier, which is the Expedia exclusive stateroom pricing, which in some cases can literally be more than $1,000 per person, less than what Celebrity's website is. We'll talk about that in a few minutes about pricing, but that's why I've selected some of these dates to take a look at, is because there's really great differentials between the Celebrity website pricing and the Expedia rate that any of the professionals from Expedia Cruises would be able to offer you. Here's a great one that is doing Iceland and Greenland. So if you wanted to get on Celebrity Apex, this has become Iceland, Greenland, doing the UK. All of these destinations have really become part of kind of the wish list of a lot of our clients. So getting into Reykjavik and spending some time there, but still pairing it up with the best of Ireland. And of course, getting to do a pre and post in Amsterdam. I hope you like what I'm showing you, because there was so much to pick from, but I really want to showcase the new ship, the Celebrity Apex. And it did have some itineraries that I would go on tomorrow. So those are kind of the ones I wanted to show for you. Great shot of Iceland with one of the waterfalls there. You might recognize that from some movie sets. It's been in some Marvel movies. And then the Med, you know, this is a part of Europe that is really easy to fall in love with. I think all of the romantics in the world always think about honeymooning or getting married on the Italian Riviera, the French Riviera, the Spanish Riviera. And really that area in the Med is a super strong focus for us. We've got the Celebrity Constellation, we've got the Celebrity Edge, the Celebrity Reflection, the Celebrity Beyond, lots of cool itineraries. I'll show you a couple more here. But just a note, if you have not done the Adriatic, where you get up into Croatia and you get into Montenegro, and you can still pair that up with the best of Italy, the Celebrity Reflection on her 10 and 11 night itineraries that does Italy, Croatia, Montenegro. Ridiculously high rankings on the surveys from the guests that sail those itineraries. So when you sail with Celebrity Cruises, when you complete your voyage, we invite you to complete a survey, and it tells you, you can say how our service was. How did you enjoy the ship? How did you enjoy the staff? How did you enjoy the itinerary and the experience of kind of where we went and what we did? And some of the highest ratings that we get out of our Europe product does come from that Italy, Croatia, Montenegro. Anything combining Italy and the Adriatic just ranks so high. So there's lots of great choices there to choose from. There's no bad choices, whether you want to go to Greece and Malta and Spain and France and Italy on the Beyond, all great destinations and choices. But if there was going to be a Chad's tip in here, I definitely think that Celebrity Reflection on the 10 and 11 night is a winner over and over in the hearts and minds of a lot of our cruisers as well. I did pick out a few more itineraries just to show you here. Our brand new ship that we're taking delivery of in April is going to be the Celebrity Beyond. In a couple minutes here, I'll show you a sneak peek at what she looks like. June, July, September dates with really good savings compared to what Celebrity's website pricing is that Expedia has. And you can see here on the itinerary out of Rome that you're doing a great journey through Italy. You get down into the Greek islands. You're going to hit the wish list of getting into the ancient ruins of Athens. Certainly Mykonos is one of my favorite destinations. Santorini, I don't think it gets any more picturesque than the whitewashed cliffs, cliff houses and businesses up in Santorini. Rhodes, though, if you haven't been to Rhodes, because a lot of you have done the Greek islands and you might do more the Mykonos and the Santorini area, but if you haven't hit Rhodes, Rhodes looks very different from the rest of Greece, and it is a World Heritage Site. And the stuff that they've got in terms of the architecture, and when you get into kind of the old town roads, talk about being transported back in time. And that's a really wonderful destination to spend some time and explore. So again, our brand new ship, which will be the best ship in our fleet, and that itinerary kind of hitting some of the best places that you could check out in Europe. And sorry, one other quick mention about this itinerary. If you want to know where the rich and the famous and the movie stars in Europe go for their little getaways, it's Malta. So on the map there, it says Valletta. If you haven't had the pleasure of exploring this very special destination, Malta is amazing. It becomes really clear after you spend a day in Malta why all the jet setters are going there for their vacation. It's a super awesome place to explore that looks a little bit different than what the Med has to offer. And I think it's one of my favorite places to visit, not just in Europe, but like on my entire travel roster. So that's a great 10 night on Celebrity Beyond to take a look at. We've got a really special 9 night as well that goes out of Barcelona, and it wraps around and follows the French Riviera. So you've got Marseille, you get into Nice, you get into La Spezia. So we were talking about kind of making some more unique ports of call. Of course, Rome is on this. You get into Naples, which maybe Naples wasn't on your hit list, but Naples is actually a really great city to explore and talk about the real grit of what old school Italy is all about. That's Naples. So I love that itinerary. That's a great 9 night, July, August, September dates that Expedia has very attractive pricing on. So you can take a look at that. Her sister ship on the Celebrity Edge has a great 12 night, and this is going to do 2 days and an overnight in Istanbul. It's also getting into Kusadasi, which is the launch point to go to those ancient ruins in Ephesus. You still have got Rhodes, you've still got Mykonos, you've still got Santorini, you've still got the ancient ruins in Athens, and then you've got Naples, you've got Rome. Beautiful itinerary, brand new ship, a great date in the fall with Expedia with the exclusive rates for you there. I was talking about those whitewashed homes and businesses on the cliffs kind of in Santorini. Great shot of Celebrity Edge. And I have a lot of fond memories of being anchored off of Santorini when my daughter was 2 years old. And on the upper deck of the Solstice class ships, we have over a quarter acre of live lawn. And while the ship was in there for the full day, we had a great lunch. We explored a lot of the kind of business area and tourist area up top. And then we came back. We spent the entire afternoon on the grass. And I remember my daughter taking her first steps with Santorini in the background like that. It's such a special destination. It's so picturesque. When Greece does its tourism shots, a lot of those shots come from the top of the places in Santorini. So if you haven't had the pleasure of experiencing that area, that's certainly something that I'd love you to see. And tonight, I know the request from the Expedia team was to kind of show a little bit of what we were doing for Europe, but also there's a lot of people from Canada right now booking into the Caribbean. One of them. Those last 4 cruises that I took in the last 3 months were all Caribbean cruises. And so freshly back from exploring in the Caribbean, the one thing that I did want to say is that as I mature a little bit in terms of my experience of cruising all of the different destinations and ports of call and islands and countries in the Caribbean, the one thing that keeps becoming more apparent is that I think Canadians as a whole like to say, you've seen one Caribbean island, you've seen them all. And that is really just not accurate. And I think that that is a statement that's made by somebody that hasn't maybe gone deeper into the Southern Caribbean or hasn't had an opportunity to see some of the more unique and picturesque islands. I mean, Dominica looks like Kauai. It doesn't look like any of the other Caribbean islands. It's really diverse if you let it be. And part of how you can do that is having a more in-depth conversation with your travel consultant from Expedia Cruises about showing you something that you haven't seen before or getting an itinerary that's going to be maybe a little bit more different or unique for you. So the Caribbean, they're all the same. It's not cookie cutter. And we'd love to be able to showcase some of the different stuff for you. I've been to the Caribbean 1,000 times before. We'd never swam with the stingrays. And I can tell you, that's still one of the highlights of that trip was getting into the water, having all of those stingrays coming right up and rubbing against you, etc. When I think back to my cruise experience, those are once in a lifetime experiences. And I'm really, really happy that during a pandemic, we decided to, go ahead, travel, have these experiences, create a new normal, and still be doing things like swimming with stingrays and having dance floors and silent discos and everything else while the world's in a pandemic and trying to figure things out. Caribbean, we've got Eastern Caribbean, Western Caribbean, Southern Caribbean. So we've got a lot of choices in terms of our deployment there. And when we're talking about the Celebrity Edge, the Celebrity Reflection, they do some really great offerings. Here's a few samples of kind of what we've got going there. So again, so hard when our deployment is so diverse, but I wanted to at least pick some of my favorites on Apex, on Edge, on Reflection, and just show you a little bit about that so that you can see what those ports of call look like, kind of what we've got for offer. And on some of these slides, I did actually showcase the difference between what Celebrity's website is quoting for a rate versus what the Expedia rate is. So just take a look at that. Let that sink in for a moment. If you're looking at Celebrity's website for an infinite veranda on that first itinerary, our website at Celebrity Cruises is $3,049 per person, Canadian dollars. Expedia in their group block had it for $1,699. That's not a small differential. That's crazy. So the power that the biggest travel company in the world, which is Expedia, holds in terms of this great amount of inventory that they block early, lock in these rates while the market rates continue to go up and Celebrity's website continues to go up. They get to keep these rates in red. It's mind-blowing because that is, you're getting close to half the price. And it's the same cruise with the same perks and the same benefits. So that's a really big deal. A great one there for February 6th. Where we've got, again, some really significant price differentials. You can go in Aqua Class, our Celebrity website pricing $32.19, Expedia Cruises $21.84. So just great reasons to be talking to the consultants from Expedia Cruises about their exclusive rates. Here's a great itinerary on the Celebrity Edge. So here you've got September through April dates. So September of last year through April of this year, going out of Fort Lauderdale. And this is a great one for Celebrity Edge for a Western Caribbean to be taking a look at. And the price points, again, are infinite for well, actually Aqua Class would be the one to take a look at. $32.29 per person on Celebrity's website, $21.84 with the team from Expedia Cruises. So wild savings, definitely a great opportunity to do a fantastic itinerary here, including Cozumel and Costa Maya, Grand Cayman, getting it to Nassau, and out of Fort Lauderdale, of course. So beautiful itinerary there. That new ship that we talked a lot about going out of Amsterdam, in the Caribbean, she goes out of Fort Lauderdale, and we've got a 7-night Western Caribbean. So great opportunity there for Cozumel in Mexico, Belize City, Georgetown, Grand Cayman. Beautiful itineraries. We've got dates kind of all throughout any of the fall and winter months, and that's something to take a look at as well. And here, veranda category, $34.59 on the Celebrity website, $17.59 with the team from Expedia Cruises, plus some bonus onboard credit for you to enjoy as well. The Reflection, which is the ship I just got off of last week, going out of Fort Lauderdale. Here's a 7-night Western, doing Key West, Cozumel, Grand Cayman, getting into Jamaica, and then you've got some sea days to relax on your voyage home, and you can see kind of that great pricing differential there as well. Those are dates November of 21 through till March of 22, so you still got some good time this winter to get away. And I hope that because I'm showing you dates that go up until March, that you don't think, well, that might be too soon, because remember, folks, I got back last week from doing a Caribbean, and if I could go tomorrow, 100% I would be. Just ran out of vacation time. Used it all up. Here's the Celebrity Equinox with the 12-night Ultimate Southern Caribbean. And, for those of you that might be on with us tonight that primarily have only cruised kind of the 7-night itineraries, my wife on this cruise, we did a 10-night Southern Caribbean, so this one's 2 nights longer. She said to me during our vacation, she said, Chad, we are never doing a 7-night itinerary again. She was like, we are only booking either back-to-back, where we're doing 14 nights, or we're booking 10 or 12-night itineraries, because the difference between the 7-night versus the 10 or 11 or 12-night in terms of when it really kicks in about allowing you to recharge, relax, disconnect, and be on vacation, it's really apparent when you go for those slightly longer itineraries. So I'm not one to argue. So I'm going to try my best to make that our plan moving forward, to do some of the longer itineraries. And here's a great one to take a look at, which really gets very in depth to the best of the best in the Southern Caribbean with the Celebrity Equinox. So I thought that was probably worth taking a look at as well. And the price differentials there on a veranda, $33.17 on the Celebrity website, $23.07 on the Expedia rates. So hope you're going to be making a call to your Expedia consultant tomorrow to get them to take a look at some of those awesome exclusive rates for you. Here's a great one that is around the corner, but I still just wanted to show you, because if you made it through the pandemic and the lockdowns and everything else with your significant other, and everything is still intact and you guys are happily still married, then I think we all have earned a special Valentine's Day. So this is a Valentine's Day cruise that goes out of Fort Lauderdale, and it's an 11-night Ultimate Caribbean ABC Islands. So great itinerary, gets you even into Cartagena, Colombia, but it's a beautiful itinerary. It is 11 nights, so it's a little bit longer to totally check out and recharge. You got 2 consecutive sea days at the end, so you come back fully rested and relaxed into Fort Lauderdale at the end of this. And the Celebrity Silhouette is the one doing this itinerary, and would just love you to be taking a look at that itinerary, because if I had more vacation time, that would be something I'd be on my way to enjoying this this coming February. We're just around the corner for that now. So there's some stuff that that you can take a look at. Here's one more for the Celebrity Silhouette into the ultimate Southern Caribbean. So you can see you're getting into Saint Martin. I don't know if you guys caught the shot from Maho Beach on my personal pictures there, where the planes are landing right over your head at Maho Beach in Saint Martin. Saint Martin is a really easy place to love and love to spend the day off the ship. And you know, a lot of people are asking, well, can you just get off the ship and do your own thing? You saw a lot of our pictures where we were doing our own thing, but Saint Martin was a full-on beach day. We left the ship in the morning. We spent the entire day at Maho Beach watching the planes land right over top of you, the beautiful turquoise waters. The bar is right close if you need replenishments and refreshments. So just an awesome opportunity to kind of enjoy a beach day there in Saint Martin. And here, with this 10-night itinerary, our veranda pricing on the website for Celebrity $42.29, Expedia exclusive rate $25.79. Crazy good Expedia rate compared to what Celebrity's website was pricing. And finally, there is a Christmas cruise there to take a look at. And that one's going out of Tampa on the Constellation. So something that you can have a look at with Celebrity Constellation for an 11-night Southern Caribbean, which does get down to Cartagena, Colombia, and Cologne, Panama as well. So that's a March 28th date that we showcased for 2022, and that's a great 11-night to be taking a look at. And finally, we still kind of consider this in the realm of our Caribbean deployment because it does touch on it. We've got both the Celebrity Edge, so one of those new Edge series luxury ships, and Celebrity Millennium doing the Panama Canal. Celebrity Edge doing an 11-night partial Panama Canal, and Celebrity Millennium doing the full 15-night from Los Angeles to Fort Lauderdale. So lots of great choices. And again, no different here. You got some really good savings to take a look at, especially on that 15-night concierge class, $92.49 for the 15-night versus $61.99 at the Expedia rate. So I hope you're paying attention. Maybe you've got your phones taking some pictures tonight, but those prices won't last because it is limited availability in those special pricing categories. So don't wait too long to be having a conversation with your professional travel consultant from Expedia Cruises. So folks, to kind of get towards wrapping up here, I definitely want to show you a sneak peek at what we are about to reveal to the world for the Celebrity Beyond. This is the sister ship to the Edge and the Apex. For those of you that are on here tonight and haven't had the pleasure yet to experience what the Edge series ships are all about and the kind of vacation or luxury vacation experience that they deliver, I want to show you what Celebrity Beyond and her Edge series sisters are all about. So that's a great look at kind of what Celebrity is doing with our ships now that we have the Edge series. And the other thing that I wanted to show for you here is that if you have not treated yourself to the retreat experience on Celebrity, this is a ship within a ship experience. It's all suites, it's all exclusive, and it's all included. So your own private sun deck, your own private sun deck with your own private hot tubs and plunge pool, your private cabinas and chaise lounges. You're going to have your own private lounge. You are going to have your own private specialty dining restaurant called Luminier with a Michelin-starred chef and the most impressive menus and culinary designs out of anything we do on any of our ships in Luminier. You've got great things like our Edge villas with, you know, 2-story lofts and private plunge pools, and on it goes. All of your everything is included. I mean, we absolutely throw in everything for the retreat. So if you haven't looked at doing the retreat, the price differential between an Aqua Class stateroom and booking into the retreat compared to all of the additional value that we build in for you, even giving you additional onboard credit to spend on board, etc., it's actually not that big a jump up. And so I did want to at least show you the retreat experience, because I think a lot of you will feel that it's worth it.
What I wanted to do was to create something that was very now, the textures, the fabrics. We were absolutely adamant that it shouldn't be second best. The idea for the sun deck was for us to create different areas that you could sit, wonderful cabanas, floating hanging chairs, and you want to watch the sunset, and you want to have that cocktail, and you want to stay there.
Luminier is our top-rated restaurant. In Luminier, we truly focus on local sourcing. It's all ingredient-based, so the presentations are just a little bit more elegant than you might find elsewhere. It's something truly special.
We've had massive success partnering with Danielle Boulud.
One of the aspects of our collaboration is that the restaurant Luminier, we offer every night a single menu, and it will be an opportunity to explore the cuisine of the world. So I really feel that there's something very personal from me.
And I think it's a natural fit because we have a lot of foodies who sail with us. So to give them the opportunity to try your food, I think is going to be something really special.
I am really looking forward to this experience.
This lounge is really important because it's a private area. I wanted to create something that was kind of quite eclectic. So it's got some humor in it, but it's a really calming place to be.
So I think it's safe to say after the last 2 years in Canada with all the lockdowns and restrictions and a rough winter, that if there was ever a time to treat yourself, and not just by booking a luxury vacation on Celebrity Cruises, but booking into the retreat, this is that time. Just before I show you what the show offer is for being here tonight, I wanted to quickly explain our perks so that you can kind of understand how that factors into the show offer. So we did reimagine ourselves a little bit during the pandemic, and we changed our pricing structure to basically ensure that even with our lowest lead-in rate, we now include all of the high-value perks for you. So the classic unlimited beverage package, which is your beers and your wines and your spirits, it's your bottled water and your fresh squeezed juices, it's your specialty coffees and teas, it's your sodas, that's all included. And we're not doing it in a sneaky way. I know we were the first major cruise line to come out with beverage packages, and we've had some of our competitors try and copy us, but in a sneaky way where they say it's a free beverage package, but you owe $240 for the gratuities on it. That's not free. Celebrity doesn't nickel and dime like that. So we do include the gratuities as part of our beverage package. So when we say free beverage package, it truly is. We prepay your gratuities for the entire cruise, even in our base lead-in rates. And we give you high-speed wireless internet for 2 devices complimentary on board as well. We do have 2 additional levels that you can upgrade into. Elevate, which moves you into our premium beverage package with all of the top shelf spirits and wines and import beers or craft beers. You've got some great onboard credit up to $200 per person that you can spend on board on the spa or fitness or shore excursions or whatever you like. And then the Indulge package also does upgrade you into the premium beverage package. It goes for an even higher speed bandwidth of Wi-Fi, so that if you want to watch Netflix or movies or anything like that on board, you can. And then it gives you up to $400 per person to spend on board as well. So that's how our pricing kind of breaks down, and the team from Expedia Cruises can take a look at what level is best for you based on what you'd like to enjoy with your vacation. And finally, again, just before I kind of show you the stacking of how deep the show offer goes, the show offer is only going to matter to you if you feel comfortable heading out the door. So I'm just going to quickly showcase something for you, 2 things. One is called Cruise with Confidence. So as long as you book by March 31st, Cruise with Confidence will have your back, and we will allow you to cancel for any reason right up to 48 hours prior to sailing. So you don't need a reason. This is the whole point of Cruise with Confidence. If you just don't feel comfortable and you don't want to go anymore, right up to 48 hours prior to sailing, you can contact us and say, I don't want to go anymore, and we will give you 100% of your money back into a future cruise credit that you can use at a later date with us. So you don't lose anything. That's total and ultimate flexibility. The second part of it is the best offer guarantee. So if a better price or a better promotion comes out after you book, right up to 48 hours prior to sailing, you can have that adjusted if something better comes out. So between the fact that you can just change your mind and get all your money back, put into a future cruise certificate to use at a later date, and because that best offer guarantee is in place, there's no risk. We've made it just ultimate flexibility. Now, we do also have something that we call our COVID assistance policy. And so our COVID assistance policy is on all sailings right now until April 30th of 22. And if you were to test positive for COVID within 14 days of your cruise, we're just going to give you a full refund. If you were to test positive at the pier or the airport, you would get a full refund. Plus, if your flights were booked with us, we'll get you home. If you were to test positive during the cruise, and keep in mind what Scarlett said, it's less than 1% positivity, and we've been doing this for 7 months now, so less than 1% positivity rate. But in the unlikely event you tested positive on board the ship, you get 100% or up to 100% refund of your cruise fare if it's a 10-night cruise. If you test positive on the 6th night, the last 4 days will refund you. You have full medical coverage and access on board to our medical facilities and doctors. We'll put you in isolation, but make it super comfortable for you. Unlimited specialty dining delivered to your stateroom. It's great. Not that anybody wants to be in that circumstance, but if it's ever going to happen, that's the way to do it. And then we'll make sure that we cover some of your costs for your hotels and your meals and anything that would require quarantine shoreside for you as well. So this is in place for any cruise up until April 30th, and that's part of our COVID assistance policy. But folks, that is just kind of an enhanced layer of having your back and protection, because the team from Expedia Cruises sells Manulife insurance, and Manulife insurance does offer COVID protection and COVID coverage for cruises now. So that's another reason you want to be talking with the team from Expedia. And so finally, to kind of close out here, it's really important to kind of understand how deep the layers go for this offer that we've got in place. So our show offer for tonight is going to be this. The 3 big perks that we talked about, you're going to get them. So this is for veranda and above. And what this is it's up to, well, first of all, you get your beverage package, your Wi-Fi, and your grat. So we kind of covered that. Those are the 3 big perks I've always included. Plus, we're going to give you up to $350 USD as an onboard credit as part of the booking event. Plus, we're going to give you our waive offer savings, which is up to 3,000 USD or up to 3,900 Canadian per stateroom off the price of the cruise. And this is going to apply for all sailings between March of 22 and March of 23. So you have a really wide scope of window. And this is going to be for a booking window of Feb 1st through Feb 7th. So you've got the full first week of February to get in touch with your Expedia Cruises consultant. Don't wait until then. You want to have the conversation tomorrow, and you want to have them checking on those Expedia rates for you, etc. But the booking window opens on February 1st. It's new bookings only. It's 3 nights or longer, and it is excluding Galapagos because we have our own free air offer to the Galapagos, so that's why it's not included in this offer. But you want to reach out, you want to talk with your professional travel consultant from Expedia sooner rather than later. Biggest reason you want to do that, all of that great pricing that you saw, the Expedia rate versus the Celebrity website pricing, it's limited amounts. There's only a certain quantity that remain at those prices, and when they're gone, they're gone. So the quicker you act to secure the ship and the sailing date and that price that you want, the better position you'll be in for exceptional value on your next luxury vacation. Tonight was fast. That was about an hour that we ripped through there, and we covered a lot of ground. If you want a virtual tour of any of our ships, if you want to see more in depth about any of the great ports of call that we visit, if you liked what I showed you about Celebrity Apex and you want to do a proper ship tour, all of this is on YouTube. We have the Celebrity Cruises channel there on YouTube for you. Get in there, do a virtual ship tour for 13 minutes and check out our culinary. There's great videos about our culinary. Everything that's going to give you the behind the scenes and the without getting on our ship, this is the very next best thing. But just check it out on YouTube and then get back with your professional travel consultant from Expedia. Get them checking those Expedia rates, get them working the magic that they do, get them to show you the Manulife policy that they have to make sure that you're bulletproof in terms of your protection. And ladies and gentlemen, that's kind of my content. Sorry, I think we ran a couple minutes long, but we had a little bit of a struggle there with the IT at the beginning. So Scarlett, I'm going to pass it back to you. And if there's any Q&A that you'd like to address, hopefully we can tackle that now for you.
Thank you very much, Chad. We do have a few questions, so I'll just jump right in here. One of the questions is wondering when the Constellation is due for refurbishment.
Yeah, so the Constellation is not due for a refurbishment, and sometimes this is what gets confused in people's minds, because a refurbishment means she's looking tired, she needs to get freshened up. The Celebrity Revolution is when we take a dry dock or a ship into dry dock, we gut it right down to the metal studs, and we rebuild it back in with the look and the feel and the touches of the Edge series ships. So she is going to be, she's one of the next in line to be revolutionized, and she will get that. But that's not to be confused with she hasn't been refreshed. She's been refreshed twice in the last 7 years to the tune of about $7 million. So there's a lot of investment to make sure that the ship looks good. She just hasn't caught up with her sister ships yet in terms of being revolutionized for the look and feel of the Edge series ships.
All right. The next question is in regards to COVID. If COVID is, your crew gets COVID on board, how are the ships equipped to handle a shortage of staff that are unable to work? What happens to them is one of the questions. So
yeah, so again, I mean, we're 7 months in. This is not a hypothetical question. This is what we're living, breathing, working, and dealing with on a daily basis for the last more than half a year now. And if a crew member tests positive, or if a crew member has been in close contact with somebody that had tested positive, then we put them into preventative isolation. And the beautiful thing right now, we're sailing with a greatly reduced capacity in terms of our guest count, but a full crew count. So you have ships that are designed for almost 3,000 people that might be sailing with 1,200 people. But the crew number that was designed to look after 3,000 guests, it's the same number. So we could take tons of our crew out and put them into quarantine, and you wouldn't feel any impact right now because we have a really, really high crew to guest ratio at the moment, which is part of why everybody getting off our ships goes, whoa, like that was quite something in terms of being doted and pampered, and it is that way.
And that leads to the next questions. Are the cruises operating at reduced capacity? So yes, they are.
Yeah, I think for all of 2022, the ships will remain at a greatly reduced capacity. We don't have a specific percentage because it does vary depending on what part of the world. But I mean, I think you're probably seeing the ships going out somewhere between 35 and 55% capacity, which is, that's a lot of room, extra room that you've got right now. And so we put that, put the measures into place with the social distancing in the dining rooms and the entertainment venues, etc.
Okay. At the beginning, you mentioned that I think there's 11 ships that are sailing right now, and there are 3 that are not operational yet. But I'm assuming they're coming into play shortly. And the question was, why are they not operating yet? Why didn't you put all of the fleet out?
One step at a time, and if everybody on this video conference tonight wants to make a booking on Celebrity, that'll help us get those other 3 ships back in service. So maybe book 2 cruises when you book.
Sounds great. And then one question was, if we wanted to cruise in March or April, is there still availability? And you did show us lots of itineraries for February, March that were great itineraries that still had space on it.
Not just that, so the answer to the question is yes, there is availability. The other part of the answer is there's availability at pricing that the cruise line doesn't like, but the consumer sure does. So our pricing isn't where we want it to be, but because we are slowly getting back to business, the deals are really great for February, March, and April. And if there was ever a time to sail, reduce capacity, pricing that's lower than what we would normally charge for our brand. And I'm living proof. I just survived 4 cruises in 3 months. It's the place to be with the health and safety protocols. If you were ever kind of humming and hawing, like, when do we go in 22? Tomorrow, or the weekend, or, early February or mid-February, go soon, because it's a beautiful space and place right now with the reduced capacities.
Next question, how far in advance can one book, and what kind of deposit is required?
Well, we're open right now through until early 24. So even if you want to book Alaska, not for this summer, but the following summer, we're now open. So a lot of our deployment is open. The deal that we've got, the show offer, is only going for sailings up until March of 23. So it's March 22 through March of 23 for sailings. But we are open a little bit later than that. And I'll defer the deposit question to a conversation with your consultant from Expedia.
Absolutely. The next question, and I can answer this one. Do you sell travel insurance that covers COVID? And yes, we do. We sell Manulife travel insurance. And just reach out to the office that you deal with, and they will be able to answer all of your questions regarding travel insurance, and especially the COVID coverage. I encourage everybody on the call to not leave home without it. And then that is, I'm just scrolling down. Cheryl asks, is there any chance that the COVID assistance will be extended beyond April 30th?
We sure hope we don't have to. We have extended that program twice already. And part of the reason is that government restrictions, media coverage, just kind of state of the world required that being extended. But I really feel that with how pervasive the transmission is with Omicron and everybody getting it across the world and in North America and Canada, I don't foresee that we're going to have to extend it. But if world circumstance says that really needs to still be in place to give people the assurance, then I expect it will be. But having said that, it's not meant to replace travel insurance. It's meant to have a really great policy in place to give you peace of mind and confidence with proceeding ahead with your travel plans. But that's not meant to be in lieu of travel insurance. And I think when you talk with Expedia Cruises about their great Manulife policy, you'll be pleasantly surprised about how easy you're going to rest at night knowing that you're really fully covered.
Absolutely. All right, that is the end of our questions. I want to thank you again, Chad, and thank you to everybody for joining us. Travel is starting, as you can tell. So if you need to start thinking about where you want to go later, 2022, 23, and as Chad mentioned, even into 24. The cruise lines and tour operators have flexible booking policies, so there is no risk in your investment. And Chad alluded to that in his presentation as well. We have lost 2 years of vacations, and with this high pent-up demand, we are already seeing shortage of space on some of the very popular sailings. So thank you for joining us. We appreciate your time. We appreciate your past travels with us, and we look forward to helping you with your future trips. Please reach out to your consultant, and if you have any questions, they are there to help you and help you start planning your next vacation. A reminder, make sure that you follow us on Facebook, check out our YouTube channels where the video presentation along with others are being posted. Our next travel talk is in 2 weeks from today, February 10th, and we will have Holland America with us talking about Europe and Alaska programs. So thank you very much. Good night, everybody.
Thanks, everybody. Thanks for joining us. Look forward to seeing you on board.